And then on top of it, if you've had any type of premarital experiences, which this happened to me twice, both with somebody who I was engaged to, and I think it really ended up ruining our engagement, and also my ex-husband who, we talk about this very differently now, but at the time, both of those men felt very entitled to their anger and disappointment at my inability to have stayed truthful and faithful to them before I even met them, which had a huge impact on then our coupled and even marital sexuality. Because you can imagine two people coming together, and I see this all the time as a therapist, is these two people who come together, and whether it's you had sex with somebody else or sexuality that I don't think you should have had, because usually when we talk about sex, we're talking about intercourse, which is a whole nother thing I don't agree with. But the other, or we had some type of sexual mishap or misstep, and now that we feel so bad about that, even if we're the only ones we've ever had any type of main sexual encounter with, we now get married, but under this cloud of shame, especially if maybe we didn't confess and went to the temple anyway, or we did confess, but then we had to have our temple ceremony delayed and our whole marriage was delayed. Like, these are very common stories, which also then they don't remain private. How are you going to explain to your whole faith community that you have to delay your wedding date for 2 or 3 months when everybody's already got their tickets and there's venues planned? So now it becomes a community story. This is not a privacy sexual story, which is also what oftentimes happens even in our rituals. Like, if you go in and confess to the bishop that you've been masturbating or that you've been petting or whatever those things are, especially as a teenager, what's the number one thing that happens is, especially if you're a male, you get your right to pass the sacrament revoked.